2012 will be remembered as an unforgettable 12 months of sport. However, it will also be remembered as the year that saw racism return to the spotlight in football. Former England international John Barnes is one man who knows how it feels to be a victim of racist abuse. He encountered just that during his career in the 80s and 90s. But Barnes says that the solution to the problem isn't on the pitch.
It's not a question of kicking it out of the game, it's a question of kicking it out of society. As long as it exists in society, it will exist in all walks of society, of which football is one. You cannot target racism in football unless you target it in society. So we're going about it the wrong way. So because football is high profile and media attentive, everybody focuses on football. However, you have to look at it, the bigger picture, to say because football players are members of society first, then they're footballers and football fans second.
Former NBA player John Amaechi is now an ambassador for Amnesty Against Discrimination in Sport. He says that efforts to thwart racism in football up until now simply haven't proved sufficient.
The problem with football in Britain is that they have been doing a marketing campaign to convince the world that there's no racism in football instead of doing an education campaign. So what I'm hoping is that they'll switch and start doing something that might actually work.
That's an aspect in which Executive Director of the Football Against Racism in Europe group, Piara Pawar, believes progress has been made. He says that there are other areas instead where much more must be done.
We've seen a lot of progress in terms of education of fans and fan-based racism, but at the same time I think the wider diversity piece in terms of increasing representation, increasing the presence of minorities and women within structures, there's still a lot to be done in that respect.
There have been several high-profile incidents in the last year, with some of football's biggest names and organisations caught in controversy. Pawar says there is no easy path to lead the sport away from the problem.
This is a long journey. There's not a switch that we can flick that will make things better easily. But if you're a young person out there and you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling targeted, understand that you're not alone. In the end, I think it's about realizing the confidence that we all have within us and the confidence to realize your potential. We all have it and we can all realize it.
As the year comes to a close, the issue shows no sign of slipping off the agenda anytime soon. FA Chairman David Bernstein has called accusations of institutional racism at the organisation ill-informed and unhelpful. The remarks were made by Society of Black Lawyers Chairman Peter Herbert in the light of the dropped investigation into the allegedly inappropriate language used by referee Mark Clattenburg during a Premier League football match. So it seems that one thing can be guaranteed, and that is that racism will continue to make headlines in 2013.